Hey guys, Fractus Smuggler here. I'm going to be doing another replay cast helpful hints, tips and tricks video. Um, this one will be catering towards new players and it will be focusing on something that isn't usually taught and not really talked about even. You hear a lot or you read a lot of new guides and newbie friendly videos, and everybody's saying, you don't want to auto attack for your last hit, like you don't want to auto attack, you don't want to pick this hero, they're very hard to play, or you want to do this, or this is what this is, these are warding spots, this is how you play this guy, but the main thing, the thing that I'm going to be talking about, and the one that nobody really chats about, is your camera work. It's not really, it doesn't really come up in conversation when you're trying to help someone learn Dota. Just you don't really think about it because everybody has their own kind of way of using the camera. But I have coached a fair few people, and I've noticed that the people that can actually or are improving is their camera work changes. As they improve, their camera work changes. And I noticed that looking back at like some games I've still got downloaded from probably about 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, of my first games, watching my camera work then compared to watching a game recently of a team game that we had, the camera work is completely different. It's like two different people playing. So what I'm going to be going over is I'm going to be going over some little camera work ways and tips and and helpful hints on how to improve upon your use of the camera. So the guy that I'm going to be doing this for mostly, and also for everybody else, is Porkbelly here. Let's get into it. I'm not going to be going over the picks. I'm not going to be going over anything like that. I'm not even going to be going over like skill wise because this guy is very new. Um, he's learning to play Dota, and I noticed after watching a couple of his games and stuff that camera work seemed to be hindering him a lot. So as you can see, Pudge Ricky. It's not exactly a super high skill game. Where is this? Okay, let's look at this down bottom. This is his camera. He's not even focusing on himself until he appears in. So he's not even in the center of his screen. He's all the way over there. And then when he does move it down, it's still all the way over there. So, and when he is looking, he's all the way at the top and he's still over a fair bit. And he's not really centering upon what's happening. So it's still all the way over here. It's not really controlling the camera very well. I'm not focusing on skill here.
Your spirit,
so
like your life, is broken.
Just moved off screen there, so he couldn't really do it, and now he's going to move off screen again, so he moves it down a bit. He's still really not tracking his enemy very well. He's keeping himself not in the center of the screen or his enemy. And here he's blinked on top, and then he clicked on the ground, and now he dives and dies. So the difference between what could have happened there is, let's go back and look at how camera should have been done, or well, the way I did my camera should have been like this, centered on what's happening, still centered, still centered. Click, click, click. Move your camera when you want. Skills, so just one click and you're fine. This guy goes back in. Keep it centered. Here we go. You go back in. Dagger comes out. There it is.
Like your life is
You just right click to creep. You need to keep it on him as he moves through the center of your screen. He keeps moving through the center of your screen. use a skill, you had your thing up a fair bit.
Radiant's middle
Right
tower
there.
is under attack.
And this is where he went off your screen. So you had to do a lot to get there. He turns around, one hit,
Dire's top tower
you
is
die.
under attack.
So, not going to focus on skill and what you should have been doing in that thing. So your actual camera work is what let you down in that fight. You didn't know what was going on. If you had come back into that fight earlier, but that's just skill. But because your camera was all the way up here, you didn't know how low the enemy was. You didn't know anything about what was going on. All you knew was that this is up here, your guy was up here, and that's it. You had no vision. Down here, you had vision. So you can click on the map to move. You want to keep what's happening in the center of your vision, or in this little box. I like to call it this little box. So it's between, usually it's between the edges of your your portrait, the edge here, and it goes up usually about the fourth one on either side. That's where I like to. So, and then you come down a bit, and it's usually that like kind of center box there. That's where I like to keep most of what's happening at the current moment in. So if I want to attack someone or move any or do anything, I like to keep my hero or the enemy hero that I'm trying to attack within that little area here. Let's move on to camera work when attacking and camera work when moving, like moving your hero or just moving from place to place or running away. So, camera work when attacking. You want to be, you come in, you should kill him. He's gone. You could have got an extra right click. Anyway, you let him move off your screen, so it doesn't take much, but you just need to keep moving your camera a bit. Like that. Just little taps. And they'll realign your camera. Little taps. Doesn't take much. It takes like half a second for you to go up a bit like that, or go down a bit and come back to the center.
Top tower is
A
under
little bit less than half a second. So it doesn't take much for you to realign your camera. And it's something you really want to think about when playing Dota, is where your camera is. Because having your hero over there, trying to attack someone here, clicking on them there, this is not being used. It's not very efficient. And efficiency is everything about Dota. You want to keep them in that center area. So when attacking someone, if I was to attack him, I'd keep him in the center. I'd click dagger and then blink straight away, or blink dagger. And I'd keep him in the center of my screen pretty much, or within that box. That kind of box there, or that kind of box in there, is where I want to be keeping him. Move back in, move back in, move back in. So, in saying that, when moving, it's a completely different, or not completely different, but it's something you can think of. So, I've got free camera at the moment. Say my hero, that is Pudge. Pudge is my hero, and I want to go for the rune. I'll click up here and go for the rune. Then I'll realign on my hero, and then I'll move up, and I'll realign on my hero, and then I'll move up, and go and realign on my hero. Like that. Constantly keeping my hero, at least I check on where I am, what I'm doing, unless I'm last hitting or something. If I'm moving from place to place, constantly check what your hero is doing. Because if you're not checking what your hero is doing, suddenly you might get blinked upon by like 4 guys, and all you know that's happened is you're suddenly dead and your screen flashed red. Not good. You just always want to keep him. So if I'm moving, I'd click down here, and then I'd go back, and I'd click down here, and I'd go back until what I'm going to do and where my hero is within the same box. So another thing about camera work is your realignment. So most people click on the icon. I actually have 4. My number 4 is my hotkey. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, if I press it, it automatically goes to him. I'm not actually playing it, so it automatically goes to him and it tracks him. And tracking, when I say track, I mean like this. He moves, or he should move like this. Tracks him like that. And then I can issue orders, I can do things from it, but it won't leave him from the center of my screen. the way to get it changed from the center of my screen is to do this. And I just move the camera and it breaks it straight away. So usually when I'm chasing someone or I'm doing something like that, I will align and I'll click move,
Dire's top tower
click move,
is
click
under attack.
move. So my hero kind of stays in the same center of the screen. When it comes to actually camera acceleration, I usually say about 5 seconds to go from one side to the other. So it's like 1, 2,
Dire's
3,
top tower is
4,
under attack.
5. That's what I like for me. And it's about 5 from top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I like. 5 seconds is normal. So 1 second will take you pretty much a quarter or less
Dire's
than
top
quarter
tower is under
across the
attack.
map. And I've set that at that. So I advise you all to go into your settings, go into a bot game, and continually adjust your mouse settings and speed and your camera acceleration and all that kind of stuff until it feels natural, until it feels like something
Dire's
that
top
you want.
tower is under
For example,
attack.
when I'm playing very right-clicky heroes that aren't very mobile, I actually decrease my my mouse speed. Mostly because I want to be able to, if there's a big creep wave or something like that, I want to have a lot more accuracy
Dire's
in
top tower
picking
is
someone
under
off in a
attack.
creep wave with the right click, or being able to hit them in a creep wave with the right click. So it's going to be, this is a short video by the way,
Dire's
it's
top
mostly just
tower
going to be on the
has
camera work,
fallen.
but if you can remember that, if you can just keep, when attacking the enemy within that kind of area there, and when moving, always reorientate yourself upon your hero to know where they are and what they're doing, what's happening to them. It's great to click all the way up here and then have them walk all the way there, but every now and then just check in on them. Just check in on them, oh, I'm going to click over here and make them walk here. I'll just check in, see what's happening. And I'll just go over here. The other thing is that about camera work that I just thought I'd leave you guys on is recent events. Look at recent events. You should have in
Dire's
your
middle tower is under attack.
hotkeys, recent event, show recent event. Oh, this is different. Basically, when something happens or someone pings or anything like that, someone dies or whatever's happening, someone gets attacked, you can press a hotkey and it will go to that. It'll jump the camera towards it. Or it should do. It should do. I also have a binding which cycles me through my rune spots, and a binding which cycles me through tier 1 towers depending on what side I'm at. So for example, for my rune spots I usually press M1, double tap it, and it will start moving through my rune spots. I have to be playing for it to work. Also I have to enable the script. So I'll usually press, double tap M1 and it'll go top, then it'll go bottom, and then it'll recycle back to my hero. And for tier 1s I have M2, and if I press it once it'll usually go to top tower depending on what side, middle tower once I tap it again, and bottom tower when I tap it a third time. So it's also good to look into camera binding scripts. It's just something to help kind of thing. Also always check people's where they are and what they're doing. Look at pings, just a little tap up on a ping and then just double tap back, just tap up on a ping, double tap back, and it gives you a little bit more presence of mind upon the map. So hopefully my little tips for camera work have helped people, and if as I said at the start of the video, everybody has a different way to run their camera. These are just some of the things that I found that helped me out a lot, and I've also seen people improve in their gameplay when they start to notice it. So this is Fractus Smuggler signing off, and I'll make another one soon, boys.